Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 418 based on novel. So let's start. The power from the puppets upset Father God. If this were Universe Ocean, even ordinary Universe Supreme Masters wouldn't dare to take that attack directly. Damn mind of the original universe. It suppresses the power of every puppet I have. I'll try to pin them down. Based on the original plan, Father God had already known the maximum power he could reach, so he would deal with Darkness Master and Pengong Master first. However, Darkness Master was hiding in Black Prison Tower, so he resorted to fighting Luo Feng and Pengong Master first. Although I can't suppress them, I can still trap them. Father God looked to the distance. The puppet army swept across Luo Feng and Pengong Master. The puppet started to wind around Luo Feng and Pengong Master like a spider web. Damn puppets! Pengong Master roared. He slashed at the area around him with Yang Jun Rod. Get away! Luo Feng waved his blood shadow blade, and all the puppets bounced away. However, only a small number of them bounced away compared to the entirety of them. They kept charging Luo Feng and Pengong Master, who were trapped by the puppets and couldn't make their way out. It was time to kill them. Shockhorn, Dream Demon, and Empress, beware of that Black Prison Tower, said Father God. Tell the other Universe Masters to attack Luo Feng and Pengong Master. Okay. If we can kill either Luo Feng or Pengong, we'll have a much higher chance to win. All of a sudden, a huge abyss showed up from Empress Palace, and many Universe Masters from the Bug race and other races stood at the opening. The black oval also cracked, and Universe Masters appeared. Attack! 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 All the 112 Universe Masters started to show their power. Some of them brought multiple bodies, so there were more than 120 of them. True treasures, illusion attacks, soul attacks, and material attacks were all used. Universe Masters from the Bug race and the Automaton race also summoned a large group of puppets. Both races also used a group technique. The power was so strong that everyone was thrilled, even Shock Demon Ancestor, Dream Demon Ancestor, Father God, and Bug Empress. The original universe had never seen so many Universe Masters attacked at the same time. No! Luo Feng yelled. We're in trouble. Pengong Master also shouted. Luo Feng transmitted his voice to Darkness Master. Quick! Help! Black Prison Tower was floating, and a giant abyss appeared under it, and great beings showed up as well. There were 91 Universe Masters and more than 100 godly bodies. They'd already sensed that something was wrong when they saw Luo Feng and Pengong Master trapped, but they hadn't expected the enemies to attack at the same time. Attack! Attack the Universe Masters from Empress Palace, said Darkness Master, transmitting his voice. The Universe Masters all raced toward Empress Palace. The two groups were far away from each other in the original universe. However, they were close in the Dark Universe. The Universe Masters from the United Forces Alliance attacked them all at once, and they arrived at Luo Feng's location. Luo Feng and Pengong Master were horrified. Pengong Master transmitted his voice. Luo Feng, we can't resist it. Then don't do it. Luo Feng waved his hands. Boat of Mausoleum showed up in front of Luo Feng and Pengong Master, blocking all the attacks. The attacks kept hitting the boat, yet some soul attacks and illusion attacks still went around the boat and hit Luo Feng and Pengong Master. Crazy Demon Extermination Godly Armor can weaken the attack, and I have a Pinnacle Soul True Treasure to protect my soul, yet I still feel burdened even with my willpower. It's terrific, and it's only a part of the combined attack. Most of the attacks were blocked by Boat of Mausoleum. If they hit me directly. The more Luo Feng thought about it, the more scared he got. 10 Universe Masters combined could form power at top tier level 6. 1 plus 1 was greater than 2. A top tier level 6 Universe Master was 10 times more powerful than a top tier level 5 Universe Master. However, when some powerful Universe Masters fought together, the power would reach top tier level 6. And when more than 100 Universe Masters fought together, it would be far more powerful than level 7, close to level 8. Luo Feng and Pengong Master didn't dare to resist it, even with Blood Shadow Blade and Yang Jun Rod. All the attacks were concentrated and hit Boat of Mausoleum. The shock waves alone were more powerful than top tier level 6. Luo Feng transmitted his voice. Come in. The door opened to their side. Luo Feng thought about it when he released Boat of Mausoleum. Luo Feng and Peng Gong entered. Inside boat of mausoleum, Luo Feng and Peng Gong master stayed in the palace. Their view wasn't blocked by boat of mausoleum. They saw the universe masters from the Alliance attacked again and again. However, the universe masters coming out of Black Prison Tower were also making attacks at the same level. The destructive attack swept across Empress Palace and the universe masters. Although Empress Palace was a supreme true treasure palace, universe masters stood outside the door every time they fought. Otherwise, they might be attacked. Father God transmitted his voice. Resist it. Leave it to me. A silver snake immediately grew 10 billion kilometers tall. The universe masters from the United Forces Alliance were fairly close to each other in the original universe and were nearly touching each other in the Dark Universe. Dream Demon Ancestor completely covered Empress Palace, Father God, and Shock Demon Ancestor, the Silver Snake covered everything. The true treasure weapons and energy attacks all hit the Silver Snake. Dream Demon Ancestor rolled over and hit Empress Palace and Father God. They all bounced away and completely disappeared. Terrific! Peng Gong Master exclaimed in boat of mausoleum. She's brave, Luo Feng praised Dream Demon Ancestor. The human team had over 100 Universe Masters attack at the same time. Even Father God, Bug Empress and Shock Demon Ancestor didn't dare to resist. Only Dream Demon Ancestor, with her supreme true treasure armor, dared to resist it. However, Dream Demon Ancestor was only able to show the power of top tier level 6, so she didn't have much defense power and bounced away. However, Luo Feng and Peng Gong Master understood that although she was repelled back with that supreme true treasure armor and godly body, even Universe Supreme Masters in Universe Ocean couldn't harm her, let alone those attacks from Universe Masters. Attack! 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 The Universe Masters from the United Forces Alliance all attacked Black Prison Tower with Dream Demon Ancestor protecting them. The Universe Masters from the human team also started to attack. The Universe Masters from both teams started fighting each other. Swallow! Empress Palace exerted swallowing power, attempting to suck in the Universe Masters from the human race as well as Black Prison Tower. Fortunately, all 100+ Universe Masters combined were able to resist it. However, they were still careful, as they also needed to resist the attacks from Universe Masters from the United Forces Alliance. If they couldn't resist the attacks, they might be sucked in. Swallowing! Darkness Master was controlling Black Prison Tower also. The Abyss exerted incomparable swallowing power, trying to suck in the Universe Masters around Empress Palace, and Empress Palace itself. There were two supreme true treasure palaces, Black Prison Tower versus Empress Palace. And they were both trying to swallow the other. However, unless the disparity in power between two supreme true treasure palaces was huge, it would be almost impossible for one to swallow another. Even if there was a significant difference between two supreme true treasures, the users needed to display that difference. Black Prison Tower was controlled by Darkness Master, and Empress Palace was controlled by Bug Empress. Both were at the first level, so neither could do anything to the other. The outburst of the two great palace-type supreme true treasures, Black Prison Tower and Empress Palace, unleashed terrifying gravitational force. The two camps of Universe Masters went completely wild with violence. Both sides had fallen into an intense fight. The united force of the three races had a total of 112 Universe Masters. Adding on the other bodies of certain Universe Masters, the total number of godly bodies in that force exceeded 120. As for the human camp, with a starting count of 92 Universe Masters, including Darkness Master, after adding on the other bodies of certain Universe Masters, their total count exceeded 100. With so many Universe Masters gathered in the same place and countless attacks occurring at the same time, the level of energy was continuously changing and expanding. The attack powers from both sides were almost at the 8th tier, and the Universe Supreme Masters could only execute theirs at 6th tier as the top, which meant that the moment they were hit by an attack, they might be thrown far away into the distance by the impact. Kill. Kill the group of demons, bugs, and automaton race. I have never exchanged blows with the Universe Masters of the Bug Clan before, yet now, so many Universe Masters are attacking together. This is simply satisfying. The numerous Universe Masters were highly excited. All burned with passion. When over 100 godly bodies executed their techniques at the same time, the outburst of energy formed an energy domain of an area of 1,000,000 kilometers around them. It was like when Universe Supreme Masters burned their godly powers to get their godly powers to rise up, the energy generated could expel Golden Kingdom and Snow Sand Ocean within a small surrounding area. Not to mention the combined power of over 100 universe masters. Their opponents were attacking like crazy. But when they charged into this energy domain, their energies were vigorously consumed. Regardless of what kind of technique, godly power attack, soul attack, or illusion attack, all of the attacks were collectively worn out the moment they reached the energy domain, even before anything could reach these universe masters. Too powerful. When so many of us universe masters join forces, we become overwhelmingly powerful. Even universe supreme beings will mean nothing to us. Even a top-tier true treasure, when confronted by our combined attack, will most likely be shattered to pieces. Of course, it will shatter. Previously, some silly fool from the united force of the three races sent a blow across the void space with his blade, and that top-tier true treasure blade was reduced to powder and dust right away. Satisfaction. Universe masters from both camps were killing to their heart's content. They were universe masters, after all. When would they get the chance to experience such an outburst of power that was so overwhelmingly strong? Even universe supreme masters could not beat them. This was an execution of an attack with formidable power, and, indeed, it brought them the utmost satisfaction. Both sides were executing their attack techniques. The power of certain attacks, upon execution, was worn out by the surrounding energy domain as the universe masters fought their way through while resisting their enemy's attack. Some others were able to charge through the surrounding energy domain to reach their enemy's camp, yet their powers were eventually worn out upon entering the enemy's energy domain. The number of godly bodies within the human camp might have been more than 100, but this number was still smaller than that of the united force of the three races. They had to focus more on defense and less on attacks. If they could at least put up a strong defense, they could block off the attacks. Then everything should work out fine. The combined force of our attack, Father God of the automaton race said via voice transmission, must have scared Luo Feng and Pengong Master into hiding in the boat of Mausoleum. Since they are not coming out, we shall change course and target our attacks at that group of universe masters. Shockhorn, Dream Tea, Empress, we shall join in the attacks to help the universe masters on our force. All right. With us joining forces, our attack power will surely be able to surpass the 8th tier and go beyond this level. We shall wait for the chance to kill those universe masters. This war. We are going to fight a winning battle. The 4 universe supreme masters made up their minds instantly. Amidst the void space in the dark universe, there were thousands of automaton puppets. They had been encircling the boat of Mausoleum but were unable to do anything against it. Exasperated, the entire puppet troupe simply could not be bothered anymore. They roared loudly with their mouths wide open. That was when the first streak of light in the shape of an arc was spat into the air. Shortly after, thousands of arc-shaped streaks of light started to appear and combine with one another. Finally, the convergence was completed to form a sharp arc of light. The arc of light swept toward Black Prison Tower. Go, roared Shock Demon Ancestor, a beast with a serrated shell. A cone-shaped image appeared and transformed into a dark storm. Then it dashed toward Black Prison Tower right away. Humans. Dream Demon Ancestor let out a hoarse shout and shot out a cyan-colored shadow from the mouth of its gigantic snake's head. Humph! Beneath the attack of a large crowd of universe masters, a large quantity of dazzling, golden light was suddenly seen from Empress Palace. At that moment, all 4 universe supreme masters were attacking at the same time. Every universe supreme master was equivalent to 10 universe masters, so with the 4 universe supreme masters attacking at the same time, the power that could be executed by 120 godly bodies instantly soared to that of 160 godly bodies. After combining the attacks by the 4 supreme masters, the energy level once again underwent a change to completely surpass that of the 8th tier energy level. Endless attacks were on the way. The energy domain of the human camp was instantly suppressed to only 1/10 of its previous area of influence. The violent attacks from the united forces of the 3 races could even prevent the attacks by universe masters of the human camp from surging out of their energy domain. All that the universe masters from the human camp could manage to do was rush about, resisting attacks and defending themselves. Too strong. Unable to block. If this goes on, there will definitely be problems. Once the energy domain that we are defending has a flaw, that single weak point will cause the entire storm of violent attacks to sweep its way in. Then we are bound to see our universe masters being annihilated. This cannot go on. The entire human camp was in a state of panic, bustling about helter-skelter. In the face of such overwhelming attacks, 100 godly bodies were forced to resist powerful attacks equivalent to 160 godly bodies. The more great beings there were, the more the power would go on increasing progressively, so the difference in power between both sides could now be estimated as 2 to 3 times. The human camp was bracing itself to last for as long as it could. Under such pressure, even if there isn't a weak point, the consumption of our godly bodies alone will be our undoing. If we lose 50% of our godly bodies, our power will only be left with 10%. Following the consumption of our godly bodies, our combat power will be reduced progressively, too. On the other hand, the united force of the 3 races has the help of 4 supreme masters. In terms of consumption, no matter how long this war takes, the 4 supreme masters can easily maintain at least the 6th tier as the top level of combat power. The humans were no fools. They could, after all, become universe masters. They all knew they were in a dangerous situation. Within the boat of Mausoleum, Luo Feng and Peng Gong Master had just witnessed the crossfire between the universe masters from both camps. They were lamenting over their observations when they saw the 4 supreme masters joining the battle. Luo Feng, Peng Gong. If the both of you are still not going to enter the field, things are going to go awry very soon. Darkness Master transmitted a voice message with a tone of harshness. Peng Gong transmitted his reply to Darkness Master. The crossfire has only just begun. We are not needed there yet. Up until now, the battle has only gone on for a while. The godly bodies of our universe masters should be barely consumed at all. Don't spout nonsense. Darkness Master was highly anxious. Why don't you come here and try it for yourself? The power of their attacks is much too strong. The moment we lose our defense, I'm afraid we will start to see the annihilation of our universe masters. If we drag on for too long, following the continued consumption of godly bodies, our ability to resist will gradually weaken. Luo Feng, when do you intend to counterattack? Luo Feng frowned and shouted his decision right away. Peng Gong, let's take the field together. All right, Peng Gong said. He squinted, but through the pair of slits, his eyes were flashing with insanity. The speed of the boat of Mausoleum skyrocketed suddenly and sharply. Then, without further ado, it dashed into the distance, moving toward the camp of the united force of the 3 races. The boat of Mausoleum was so mighty that those automaton puppets did not even dare to stand in its way. The moment it came charging toward them, even Father God of the automaton race, who had previously been so arrogant, immediately ceased the attacks of his puppet troop. Father God of the automaton race transmitted his orders. Shockhorn, Dream Tea, Empress, you all will continue to attack the human universe masters of the human camp. This Luo Feng and Peng, leave them to me. All right. Automaton, you must block them both. Beware of Luo Feng. He has received the inheritance of the pulse of Duan Dong River. Who knows? He might have some other strange treasures. Father God of automaton race transmitted his reply. Don't worry. I have never let my guard down before. Thousands of automaton puppets were seen to have flocked around the boat of Mausoleum. When the boat of Mausoleum's speed soared from 100 times light speed to several hundred times light speed, those puppets did likewise. When the entire boat of Mausoleum was about to collide with that black sphere, the boat of Mausoleum vanished into thin air. Luo Feng and Peng Gong appeared in mid-air. Kill! Kill! The moment they appeared, both executed their attacks at the same time. Break! Luo Feng wielded Blood Ghost Blade, and the blade became insanely huge. From tens of thousands of kilometers of length, the blade speedily expanded to a length of at least 100 million kilometers. The sharp edges grew especially big while the handle remained the same size as before. This gigantic Blood Ghost Blade could not be bothered with the automaton puppets at all. Instead, it hacked murderously at the duo made up of Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor. Empress of the Bug Clan, you should accept one rod, too. Yang Jun Rod also expanded tremendously in Peng Gong Master's grip, who viciously thrust it far into the distance at Emperor's Palace. With a hack and a thrust, the two paid no attention to the automaton puppets and instead directed all their attacks at Shock Demon Ancestor, Dream Demon Ancestor, and Emperor's Palace. Shock Demon Ancestor, Dream Demon Ancestor, and the Empress of the Bug Clan were exceptionally great beings. Of course, given their status, they would be clearly aware that the critical factor determining the victorious party in this war was none other than the group of universe masters of each force. So they paid no heed to Luo Feng and Peng Gong Master's attacks and continued to pour out their individual powers, directing repeated attacks at the human universe masters within Black Prison Tower. But as for Blood Ghost Blade hacking onto the bodies of Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor, The idea of a 6th-tier top-level kind of attack injuring a Universe Supreme Master was a joke. Such an attack could, at most, knock these two Universe Supreme Masters back a short distance. "Let's not bother with those two humans," Shock Demon Master said, transmitting a voice message. "Automaton, they have the boat of Mausoleum. That's why they can barge their way through. There is no way you can try to obstruct them. Since that is the case, you might as well ignore them both. A 6th-tier attack? Humph. It won't be able to hurt us at all. We just need to focus on attacking that group of Universe Masters." The Empress of the Bug Clan also transmitted her voice message. "Right, Universe Masters of the human camp are already starting to get flustered. The moment a loophole appears, their Universe Masters are bound to face annihilation. Thereafter, the number of deaths on their side will increase. We must win this war." "All right." Father God of Automaton Clan also decided that he should no longer be bothered with Luo Feng and Peng Gong. This instantly caused Luo Feng and Peng Gong Master to get anxious and angry, but there was nothing they could do. After all, the Primal Universe might be able to suppress the attack power of these Supreme Masters. It was not able to suppress their defensive ability. Darkness Master transmitted another voice message out of anxiety. "Luo Feng, Peng Gong, right now, the majority of our Universe Masters' godly bodies are basically over 95%. But if this situation persists, the consumption of their godly bodies will increase beyond control. And now, just putting up defense alone is exhausting them." Peng Gong Master transmitted a voice message too. "Luo Feng and I are getting anxious, too. But the 4 Supreme Masters are too vigilant. Even when they have such a great advantage over us, there isn't the slightest intention of leaving our Universe Masters alone. Now, we need to counterattack. It is almost impossible if we are intending to apprehend all the Universe Masters from both sides in one move. It is already very tough trying to apprehend the Universe Masters from one side, not to mention 2 sides." Luo Feng was worried sick. Universe Masters within the camp of the united force of the 3 races were divided into 3 places. Empress Palace had 80, the vessel belonging to the demons had 16, and the Black Sphere of Father God of the Automaton race had 16. Although Luo Feng and company were unable to determine an accurate number, those great beings were standing in easily observable spots like the edge of the hole's opening or the edge of cabin doors, so it would be possible to come up with a rough estimate of their numbers. Luo Feng had initially intended to wipe out all the Universe Masters of the opposing force that the 2 demon ancestors and Father God of Automaton race were protecting. But now, through gritted teeth, Luo Feng transmitted his voice message. "I don't care anymore. If this goes on, not only will we not win, but we might even suffer a crushing defeat." Counterattack. In the space of the Dark Universe. While the human team and the United Forces Alliance fought, great beings watched from a distance. A purple-caped being stood in the space, and he saw the battlefield through the space and time in front of him. "I can't believe there are more than 100 Universe Masters, and they are this powerful. It seems that I need to learn from you, Northern Territory Alliance Master, and be an Alliance Master. At least I'll have a group of Universe Masters to command." 10 billion kilometers away from the purple-caped being, an elder with a white beard said, "Do you want to be the Alliance Master, Shahua? Then I'll give you the Northern Territory Alliance." Shahua Island leader transmitted his voice to all the great beings around him. "You're so generous, aren't you? But I won't seize what you have. Everyone, what do you think the result is? I think the United Forces Alliance will win. Even Ancestral God thinks the Alliance will win? Then I'll side with the United Forces Alliance as well. It's hard to say. Luo Feng got the inheritance from Duandong River, and the human team has 2 supreme true treasures. Who knows whether they have more true treasures or not? What do you think, old beast god? I think the United Forces Alliance will win." "I thought you had a good relationship with the human race, old beast god," someone screamed. A giant creature was flowing. "That human race can't resist it anymore, yet you're not doing anything to help. You're so sneaky. I hate that. What do you want to do? Fight me? Do you think I'm scared of you? Old beast god, Iju, why are you 2 fighting? It has nothing to do with you, virtual real. I just hate this old beast god. Just keep quiet and watch first. Sitting mountain guest is right. Just watch. This is a very important war." The inheritance from Duandong River was very attractive. The Universe Supreme Masters had all come here either by their original bodies or their avatars. They were all able to sense the space and time, and they could sense a very broad area. When the United Forces Alliance showed up in the human territory, they immediately sensed it. However, they all watched it from a distance, as they didn't want to meddle. Aside from those Supreme Masters, some Universe Masters had also come, like Prison King. However, they were relatively inferior and weren't entitled to joining in the conversations among Universe Supreme Masters. Something happened. Wait! The human race is turning the tables. The Supreme Masters and Universe Masters watching the fight were all thrilled. The Dark Universe, the battlefield for the two teams. Counterattack! Luo Feng ordered. Counterattack! 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 Resounded the voice of Darkness Master in the ears of all the Universe Masters under Black Prison Tower. They were all excited. They only knew there were 3 plans for counterattacks. However, they didn't know the details. For what it was worth, they knew that the human race had a trump card, and it was time for them to show it now. Their will to fight was suddenly alight. Even those who had a hard time defending themselves were trying to look stable. Time to counterattack. Time to counterattack. They were all trying their best to defend themselves. At the same time, they were also watching how the situation was changing. In the area in front of Luo Feng and Pengong Master stood Dream Demon Ancestor, Shock Demon Ancestor, and Father God. They couldn't have cared less about Luo Feng. Boat of Mausoleum. Luo Feng waved his hands, and Boat of Mausoleum appeared. It immediately bulged and stood in front of the United Forces Alliance. However, the United Forces Alliance ignored the boat, as they knew that it couldn't do them any harm. Suddenly, the crystal ball floating at the door bulged. It reached a diameter of 10 million kilometers, bracing the entire door. The halos on the crystal ball concentrated at a single point like a narrowing pupil. The pupil aimed right at Emperor's Palace. The crystal ball had a diameter of 10 million kilometers, yet the pupil only had a diameter of 100,000 kilometers. The powerful mental force traveled in a straight line, slashing the sky and rocketing toward the Universe Masters beside the abyss of Emperor's Palace. The mental force traveled like a pillar of light, so it could only affect about 10 Universe Masters. Luo Feng didn't want to attack those 80 Universe Masters all at once because the pupil could maintain its maximum power within the diameter of 100,000 kilometers. However, if it kept bulging, the area covered would be large, and the power would be weaker. 100,000 kilometers was the best area. Ah! A towering Universe Master from Automation Race growled and groveled, trembling. No! Some Universe Masters groveled. Some lay down, and some fell, losing consciousness. The mind shock from Ancient God Eye was too strong, and within the Dark Universe, they weren't far from each other in terms of proximity. Besides, Luo Feng had put Ancient God Eye near Emperor's Palace on purpose so that it could wield its maximum power. Ancient God Eye spun slowly and swept in various directions. Every time it pivoted, it was able to affect about 10 Universe Masters. It turned a little bit, and it affected another 10 Universe Masters. It was a simple twist. The mental force storm circled around and affected all the Universe Masters under Emperor's Palace. Although the mind shock was directed away from the Universe Masters for a short period of time, it would take them a long while to recover. It was a fatal circle. A portion of great beings from the bug race, the demon race, and the automaton race were among those 80 Universe Masters. However, most of them were subsidiary races. Besides, they had learned from their previous experience and had left behind some Universe Masters who had the best chance to become Universe Supreme Masters at their miniature universes. If it were a top-tier level 5 being like Forbidden Master, they could have resisted it, as their minds had already reached Universe Supreme Master level. However, only 3 out of the 80 Universe Masters had minds that were at the Universe Supreme Master level. As for the others, they were either groveling or knocked unconscious. This was catastrophic to the United Races Alliance. Suddenly, they had lost 77 Universe Masters, and there were only 35 Universe Masters attacking the human team. Even all of them combined couldn't reach level 7. The United Races Alliance had 4 Universe Supreme Masters, so they had 40 Universe Masters in total. Which meant Ancient God Eye had eliminated half the fighting power of the entire Alliance, from more than 160 Universe Masters to just around 80 Universe Masters. And the human race had more than 100 Universe Masters. Luo Feng and Pengong Master both performed their techniques. The Blade of Light and the Rod Shadow swept across Emperor's Palace. The human team could have the power of the combination of 120 Universe Master godly bodies, including Luo Feng and Pengong Master, whose power was at top tier level 6. Finally, the human team's Universe Masters broke the energy domain and started the real counterattack. The Universe Masters from the human race started to attack Empress Palace. Swallowing. Darkness Master had been driving Black Prison Tower after the use of Ancient God Eye, and it finally started to work. 77 of the 80 Universe Masters fell, and all 80 Universe Masters, including those 3 who remained conscious, flew toward Black Prison Tower. But just as they were being swallowed by Black Prison Tower, the human team started to attack them relentlessly. No. How? Empress. The 3 top-tier beings of the subsidiary races were horrified. Those 3 alone weren't able to escape the swallowing power of the Supreme True Treasure Palace, and they weren't able to resist the attacks from Luo Feng, Pengong Master, or the other human Universe Masters. The colorful forces, the thin blade of light, and the rod shadow all hit them. Father God transmitted his voice. Empress! Empress! Protect them! Shock Demon Ancestor roared, also transmitting his voice. Protect them! Dream Demon Ancestor shouted, growing anxious as well. The attack was so sudden that they didn't have time to use their techniques to stop it. They could only place their hopes on Bug Empress, the last hope of the United Forces Alliance. If dozens of Universe Masters were killed or swallowed, it would be a nightmare for them. This video will end here.